Well, thank you for hanging out with us today and being here before happy hour. My name is Max Scatarzi. I'm a director of partnerships at Suzy. If you're not familiar with Suzy, we're an end-to-end consumer insights platform that integrates AI powered qual, and high-quality audiences into a single connected research cloud. I memorized that for my marketing team. Thank you for being here. Today, we're here to talk about harnessing the power of community through Fandom. And so let's get to know each other. Let's start with okay.
Hi, I'm Megan Amic. I am at American Honda, and I lead all paid media for both the Honda and Acura brands.
And I'm Sam Johnson. I'm the director of sports marketing for Paramount Plus. So my job is to acquire, engage, retain subscribers for our sports leagues, which are NFL, Big Ten, UEFA Champions League, PGA Tour Golf, March Madness, everything on CBS you can get on Paramount Plus. So that's my role.
Amazing. All right, so let's start from the bottom. So building fan communities. What are some strategies that you guys have used to build fandom and foster a sense of community?
Sure. So there's not many fans of streaming services specifically. Joke that Rob Lowe is the only guy with an NFL hat, right? Everyone else has their own team hat. So for us, it's really about servicing the fans in a way that is frictionless for them. So for us, that means showing up pretty much excellent in every touch point that we have with the consumers. So if it's off-platform marketing, on-platform engagement, email, push, anywhere where we're engaging with fans, it's really important that we're correct and that we're right. I mean, authentic it's a very buzzword. It's hard to bring that down out of the clouds into what that means day to day, but for us it's about showing the right players, showcasing the right storylines that are actually happening in the season. Because no one goes on Twitter to say, I had a seamless experience with my streaming service today. What a treat. They only say I couldn't find what I wanted. So we need to make sure that we're showing up whenever they need us.
Awesome. So Paramount Plus is a major player in streaming. So what do you think makes these sports fans unique compared to other fandoms?
Yeah, I mean, I think on the NFL front, like I said, it's very regional in terms of your fan base. So, and for us, our product is very regional too. So you get your local NFL and CBS stream on Paramount Plus. So for us, it's really important to regionalize all the marketing that we do as well. If you're in Kansas City, we don't want to show a Dallas game that you're not actually going to get. So those fans, we have to treat them like they are. They're a regional fan base. And they're just as particular, though, from an IP standpoint. If you're a Marvel fan and Batman is showing up wrong, you're going to freak out. And Batman's not Marvel, right? So, perfect example of showing up wrong. But we need to be right all the time for them. And we also try to show up in person too. So this weekend we're doing an engagement at Ohio State for our first Big Ten on CBS game this year. Because the opportunities for us to show love to the fans are pretty limited, right? Aside from clicking the tile on your TV, we like to be there in person too, so they can have some additional engagement with our brand.
Awesome. So staying with you, Sam, how do you keep sports fans engaged between seasons?
Vanessa, you want to come back up and pitch knuckles? No, I think it's been the model of broadcast and is moving into streaming too, to acquire mass audiences with sports and then move them into content that you have elsewhere on your network, right? It's why 60 Minutes has been the top-rated Sunday show on CBS for as long as it's been on air. We can move those audiences around, and they're really engaged. So for the most part, we do try to market those top titles and work with the other teams that we have internally to say, if we're doing a big Taylor Sheridan launch, let's use our NFL audience. Let's make sure we're integrated on game day. How are we showing up together on platforms so that people are aware that Top Gun is coming to the platform as well? So that's the power of Paramount, as we say, is the combined forces there. And it does help in the summer months when, we're truly a seasonal product to have something there for those fans.
Amazing. Now, Megan, coming over to you. We've talked about this a little bit earlier this week. I am a huge video game fan, so I'm excited about what Honda is doing in the esports world. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. So we have been really big and invested a lot in both gaming and in esports. And really it's because, we are trying to build brand love with the younger next gen car buyer. So for the last, call it 5 years, we've been doing a lot with Twitch, as well as a lot with our partnership with Team Liquid Honda. And so we've done a lot both from a consumer standpoint by showing them and giving them, fun activations on behalf of Honda, but then also giving them access to their favorite esports athletes.
Awesome. So just double clicking on that, how are you connecting with gamers?
Sure. So we'll go into Twitch first. So 2019, we kind of really ramped up our partnership with Twitch. We became the first OEM to have a gaming channel on the platform. And then we also created our own lifestyle platform on there, or channel, called DreamLab in 22. In 2019, we also kicked off some work with them to create what we call the Hondaverse. And this is like an immersive map within Fortnite, within their creative mode. We've had 3 iterations of them. We've also launched the 11th gen Civic on the platform. And we've seen that this has been just a great place for us to reach, like I said, the next gen car buyer. And we have been able to prove out and show that, Civic is the car for this generation as being the #1 car right now for that demographic.
Amazing. So let's talk a little bit more about specific campaigns and collaborations. So how do you translate campaigns and collaborations into fan experiences? Start with you, Sam.
I think one of the things that we do for our NFL campaigns is started a partnership directly with NFL teams. So we've partnered with 10 for this fall to directly talk to those fan bases. And those partnerships are wide-ranging, digital, social, but it also includes elements like in-stadium signage, activation space at those teams. So I think from that point, that standpoint, we try to engage them directly that way. So I think that's been a fun one. And then we also, for our commercial campaigns, we engage with CBS Sports talent and NFL talent as well. So this year, our brand ambassadors, for lack of a less on the nose word, is JJ Watt and Tua Tagovailoa with the Dolphins. And so JJ has become a national household name. If you're an NFL fan, you're well aware of his accomplishments, and he's continued to involve himself in European soccer as well. And Tua is on the rise and a key market for us for Paramount Plus, because we have, I think, 9 Miami games on the service this year. And so those kind of collaborations, I mean, everyone talked about the power of partnerships today, but those have been really impactful because it not only engages national fan bases, but when we released the spot, Miami Twitter took it over. Like, local reporters picked it up. Players were watching it. It was really cool to see that level of engagement.
Awesome. So personalization is something that's been hearing a lot about lately. So what is your approach to personalized content when it comes to fan engagement strategies? I'll start with Megan.
Sure. So, one example we have right now is actually what we just launched this year. So I mentioned with Twitch, we've been working with them for a few years now. This year we really ramped up our partnership with them by becoming the first automotive exclusive automotive partner of Twitch Rivals, which is their kind of big esports kind of tournament. And so with our partnership with them, it's a live stream on a weekly basis, and we kicked off with creating like a bespoke Civic emoji. I don't know if that's the right word, but emoji that gets used within the Twitch chat. So every time people want to engage, talk about Honda, this little Civic comes up. But then we took it a step further and kicked off a kind of fan-generated building of the new 2025 Civic Hybrid. And so over the last few weeks, we've had voting within the show where users get to kind of chime in on like different elements of the vehicle. So whether it's accessories, it's paint, etc. And I think we have a clip we can kind of show. But basically what has happened is we've had people vote in, and we get a lot of engagement, a lot of people like chiming in on what type of car they want to see, what kind of elements. And then what we're doing is we're giving this car away, actually, next month at TwitchCon in San Diego during the Twitch Rivals.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Sam, how about you?
Yeah, I think for us, personalization is localization. So we've built pretty substantial dynamic creative optimization tools that allow us to be very specific about what games are coming up and what games users have the potential to see in their market. It started with the NFL. In any given time frame, there might be 6 to 8 different NFL games on the service, and so across programmatic, OTT, social platforms, that's all being personalized in real time down to, tomorrow, today, live now, and then moving into the next week's game. And we've been able to scale that pretty significantly. So not only does that, lead to a better user experience when they're in their feeds, but operationally building that many assets and getting them into market at scale is basically impossible. We've taken that same model and applied it to the soccer properties, to March Madness as well, which has been great. And then on product, that has evolved as well. So we've been able to showcase more, heightened creative with different players and things like that, and being able to build that with those kind of tools has been, it's just made the service look better. The fans have a better experience when they're on their platforms and when we're advertising to them.
Nice, amazing. So let's talk about some emerging trends. What are some emerging trends in marketing and fandom that you guys are excited about?
So what's been really big over the last, say, 5 years or so, it's been esports, right? And we really wanted to kind of evolve our relationship with Team Liquid about last year, I believe. It's the first year that we got the naming rights to the team for I'm gonna goof up the name of the game. But we became we got the naming rights for the team, so now it is Team Liquid Honda. And we've done a lot to really dig deeper, do more with them. We have a lot of custom content that we build out and use as our creative when we are in our gaming lifestyle buys, right? So it's not necessarily just your typical automotive ad with our deals and our incentives. It's going to be something that speaks to them, that has esports athletes that they know, that they enjoy and they follow, and really kind of get that kind of brand love going.
Yeah, I think the dust settling on VR and mixed reality experience is going to be really interesting, because I think we've seen all ends of the spectrum, from Meta building low cost metaverse and Apple building the exact opposite end, and neither one really kind of grabbing the zeitgeist. And then experiences like Cosm, where it's more of a shared reality, or the Sphere. I think sports moving into that arena is going to be really interesting. I think it's going to take a little while for the technology to catch up, of capturing those games and getting in front of a lot of people, but I think that's an exciting arena, because I forget who mentioned it, but I think it was the Rams, that 99% of their fans won't enter their building, right? But everyone knows that's an incredible experience. So how can we bring those things into reality in a way that I don't think has quite happened yet on those platforms?
Perfect. So what about the role of community? How do you see that evolving, particularly with new platforms, new trends?
Yeah, so with gaming, we've been trying to, like I said, kind of get in those conversations. So we started with, like I mentioned, the kind of emoji. We've been trying to dig a little bit deeper, finding kind of trends within the comments and the interest that they have. We've created a lot of unique content, like, for example, Westerns seem to be a weird kind of theme that they all really enjoyed, and steampunk, right? So a lot of the custom content we were creating for this gaming audience that involved our vehicles, but with those thematics, right? Something that normally you wouldn't see a Honda create for a typical Honda ad. So we've been digging a little bit more there, we've been really picking up and trying to capitalize on moments. So I think it was the last panel that mentioned this, but a year ago we had the Team Liquid Honda won in the 2023 summer LCS game, and so they were giving a post-game interview, and in the interview, Core JJ one of the athletes starts talking and says, "Thank you, Honda." And I think we can.
I'll start with you, Core JJ. Any message for the crowd out there that have been cheering you guys on from the start of this day?
Thanks everybody to coming here, and thanks for watching us. I hope you guys keep cheering us, and thanks, Honda.
There it is. Summit, any message from you?
Oh, thank you, Honda. Thank you, our coach Spawn.
Coach Spawn, that's a shout out.
Shout out to Spawn.
Pyosik, how about you? Any message or a dance? Like anything you want to do? I'm not.
I want a message.
Yes?
First, thank you, Honda.
Well, so what you may have seen on the side is they kept saying "Thank you, Honda," and so it started to blow up in the chat. Right? Everybody started saying "Thank you, Honda." So we kind of took this and we're like, how can we run with this? We started to see that their fans were writing things on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, tweeting about how, as a fan of Team Liquid Honda, they were getting rid of their car and buying a Honda, and would end their post with "Thank you, Honda." It just became a little mini kind of cultural movement within the little gaming community, to the point where we encouraged Team Liquid to do something fun with it, and they came up with this, and which we used as creative. If you want to.
Steve, co-CEO of Team Liquid here. I wanted to give you a quick update about our decision in the offseason to not sign Double It. The truth is, Peter's washed. I don't feel comfortable saying this.
Just say the line, Steve.
Oh, hey Steve.
Why are you honking the horn?
I was just testing out this Honda CR-V. I love this thing. Thank you, Honda.
Is this an ad for Honda?
No. Thank you, Honda.
Can't we just do a normal esports hype video?
Oh, you wanted hype video? Why didn't you say so? Thank you, Honda.
As you can see, we poked fun at it, and it's still going. It's been a year, and today, actually, from the Team Liquid team, they sent me another screenshot of somebody posting about how they got rid of their Ford and got a Honda Civic and thanked us in their tweet. So.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you for sharing those stories. Are there any questions from the audience?
Where are we getting drinks?
Drinks it is. Thank you guys for joining. Really appreciate it.